Greetings and welcome to Retention Chronicles, the podcast with learnings from expert e-commerce brands and partners. I'm Mariah Parsons.
And I'm Noah Rahim today. If you're here, you're either on a quest for e-commerce enlightenment or you accidentally clicked the wrong link. Either way, we're thrilled you've stumbled into our corner of the internet.
And hey, even if you're not on the e-commerce hype train, stick around. We promise it'll be worth your while. We've got pearls of wisdom for everyone, whether you're running a business or just trying to keep your houseplants alive.
Exactly. So before we unleash the brilliance of today's episode, let's give a shout out to our fantastic sponsor, Malomo.
They're the wizards behind the curtain, making the post-purchase experience smoother than a jazz solo.
Hit that subscribe button like it will increase LTV overnight, and check out our other episodes at gomalomo.com. That's GOMALOMO.com.
Get ready for insights, chuckles, and possibly a profound realization or two. Here's our newest episode of Retention Chronicles.
Welcome, everybody. Third ecosystem episode of 2024. This is a crazy week for Mariah and I. We're recording 3 this week and 1 next. So we have four recordings over the next 5 business days. But super excited for today's episode. We've got one of our unequivocally favorite partners joining us today. And actually for the second time, we haven't had very many guests or partners on for a second time. Last year we had Aaron Dunca, who's your VP of Customer Success. And today we've got James, co-founder and COO at Rebuy. So super excited. Rebuy is one of our favorite partners, and I think more importantly, probably one of our merchants' favorite integrations to leverage. So always a treat, not only when we get to hang out on the pod, but when we get to hang out in person and when we get to provide those awesome experiences for our shared merchants. I think we've got about 100 now merchants using the integration. So definitely one of our most adopted integrations. And like I said, definitely a fan favorite. So with that, welcome, James. Thanks so much for joining.
And, thanks, Noah. Thanks, Noah. Thanks, Mariah. Really excited to be here. So thank you for the opportunity. And like you said, the partnership between Rebuy and Malomo is a fantastic partnership. And the biggest winners, of course, are our merchants.
Yes. Merchant first all the way. That's what we love about it. If you could just give us a quick intro and a little background on yourself. And then we like to start our episodes with one thing you're excited about in your personal life. So let's start there.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, I'm James Van Erck. I am one of the co-founders of Rebuy. The other co-founder is John Erck. So John and myself are brothers. We've been working together for a very long time now in the e-commerce ecosystem for over a decade, working together. First as an agency, boutique agency called Above Market, where we got to work with some really cool D2C brands early in the Shopify days. So about 2012, I think, is when we kind of got started. And so we got to work with brands like Movement Watches, Primal Kitchen, Thrive Market, and a bunch of really cool brands off Shark Tank. Help building their e-commerce sites and building these digital experiences. And so John and I are both longtime e-commerce guys, really believe in e-commerce, direct to consumer. It's a lot of fun. And so all along the way, John and I knew we really wanted to build software as a service product. So we kind of balanced half of our time working with brands, building their sites. And then the other half of the time, we kind of reserved building products. So we built and grew a couple different e-commerce apps along the way. And 2017 Shopify Unite, they announced a new discounts API. And so John and I were chatting. It's like, wow, we got to make use of this. So if anybody's familiar, prior to the discounts API, creating discount codes in Shopify was very challenging, pretty painful. You'd have to upload spreadsheets to create discount codes. And so this new API allowed you to create discount codes on the fly just by pinging an API. So John and I worked with a lot of CPG companies, consumable companies, and we're like, man, this is perfect. So the first way that we're going to utilize this is just going to be so simple. We're going to wait till an order is processed, and then 30 days after a customer places that order, we're going to send an email to that customer asking if they'd like to rebuy their order, hence the name of the company. And we're going to sweeten it with a personalized discount code based on this new discounts API. So we went to work, built that product, launched on some of our contracting clients, and ended up getting really, really good results, getting over $1 in emails, pretty good benchmark for a successful campaign. We're getting $4 to $5 in email. And the merchants are like, hey, this is great. I love it. But instead of asking people if they want to buy, the same items again, can we ask, do you want to buy new items based on what was in your previous order? And John, they're like, ding, ding, ding. This is what you kind of see on Amazon. Customers who bought this also bought. And so John and I got to work building a recommendation algorithm and decided instead of bringing it to email, let's bring it to the product page. We felt like that's where all this traffic is going. And so we built a recommendation box and put that on product pages, measured the results, got fantastic results, and have since continued to develop a bunch of merchandising features that allow you to really optimize traffic and drive more revenue and profit.
Amazing. I actually did not know that.
Yeah, neither did I. For how much we worked together, I would have thought, we would have gotten all of the background.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I did know the agency origins because I think you and I have talked about this, James. But yeah, Malomo's Yotpo on the brain, I guess. Malomo's founding story is very similar. Yao and Anthony started Malomo out of the agency that they had, which was a dev agency working with Shopify brands. And they kind of ran into the problem of order tracking and how sort of antiquated the Shopify experience is and how little control merchants had over it. Multiple times for a few of their merchants, they solved it ad hoc, and then they were like, shit, this is probably a problem for every single Shopify merchant. So shut down the agency. They were already dev guys, similar to you and John. So they built the product from there. So very similar origin stories. I think that's probably another reason why our companies are so close, very aligned with values and all that stuff. So very cool to get the Rebuy story. I had no idea that it was off the back of that one API changed everything. So,
yeah, it's pretty incredible. Absolutely.
All right. One thing you missed, but you're not getting off the hook. One thing you're excited about in your personal life.
Oh, yeah. So I have two wonderful kids. I have a son named William, he's 6 years old, and a daughter named Sophia, who is 4. Prior to having kids, my wife and I were really into rock climbing. We would climb all the time, mostly at the gym, but some outdoor climbing as well. And so recently our kids have gotten into rock climbing, which is so exciting for me and my wife. So we now have a routine where we get to go rock climbing as a family every week and sometimes on the weekends as well. So that has been a lot of fun getting back into climbing and getting to share that with our kids.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Normally guests have something to say about their kids. That's always like part of the good personal news. That's a really unique one and very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Are you guys doing that all inside in the gym or is
there Yeah, we're doing it in the gym, starting with top roping, and eventually, the little guys will get good and we can do some lead climbing, but we got a couple years before that. So
very cool, man. That's awesome. Okay, let's bust right into it. So this year we're changing the format. Again, this is just our 3rd episode, so we're kind of tinkering around a little bit, but we really have liked it so far, and I think our guests have too, or sorry, our listeners have too. So what we want to ask you, James, is to provide one sort of like practical e-commerce strategy or even more specific tactic that you and Shopify brands implement with success and think that they should in 2024, given the current environment in e-commerce?
Yeah, it's a great question. I have lots of answers to this question. There's a lot of really great tactics that I think e-commerce and D2C brands should be leveraging. But one that we've seen a lot of success with, and a lot of brands have really enjoyed running, is this focus on retention is, obviously pretty pertinent in Q1 here. So a lot of brands working hard, paying a lot of money to acquire a bunch of holiday traffic. And so for brands, switching over into the new year, it's really hard. And a top of mind is to keep those customers engaged. So how do you retain all that holiday traffic and get them to come back and make another purchase? And so you can do this throughout the year, definitely super powerful during holiday season. But what we've seen is a lot of brands will leverage post-purchase offers to offer a discounted gift card. So basically, these brands will frame a discounted gift card as, hey, thanks for your purchase. Why don't you invest in your next purchase and save? And so they might run a 20% discount. So it's a $50 gift card. They sell it for $40. And the customer is like, yes, obviously they're super ecstatic about the purchase they just made. This gets them thinking about their next purchase and helps incentivize that next purchase through a little bit of a discount. Now, the cool part is, in order to redeem this, obviously the customer has to come back and utilize this gift card. And most times customers are going to spend more than the gift card value. So if you sold them a $50 gift card, they're probably going to be spending $60, $70 to maximize the gift card purchase. So you can kind of run some numbers and figure out, what works for your business in terms of, discounting and what your AOV is and the amount you should be offering, or the size of the card, because typically you'll want this to be, at or above your AOV. But a lot of brands have seen great success with that, and that helps get customers to make their second purchase or third purchase. And they always say, the first purchase is definitely the hardest, but as a customer becomes more acquainted with making a second or third purchase, the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh purchase becomes that much easier.
Awesome. Okay, so many questions. One, back to the basics. And you're probably the perfect person to ask this, because I know Rebuy sort of specializes in the post-purchase offer. Mm-hmm. Can you define post-purchase? Because I think for a lot of our merchants, we talk about post-purchase, I think, a little bit differently than you are right now, right? We talk about post-purchase as order tracking. So once order confirmation email is sent, all the way until the time that an order is delivered, and even through returns and exchanges as well. Yep. I think that there's this little area in between, the pre-purchase side and what we define as post-purchase, which is what you're talking about. So I just want to make sure that we first have a baseline of definitions.
Yes, that's a great call out. And there is, two different words or two different meanings of post-purchase. And so these post-purchase offers, what I mean is Shopify has an extra step in the checkout process. This is optional. You don't have to use it. But if you are a merchant leveraging, Rebuy or other apps that offer post-purchase offers, the customer will, shop the site. They'll start their checkout process. They'll add, shipping, payment information. So when they hit the submit button on the payment information, their card is actually processed. That order is created. And then they are shown an optional page in which you can have them add an item to the order that they just placed. And so this is an extra step between the credit card or payment step and the thank you page. So there's this new opportunity for merchants to offer, gift cards or other add-on items to that order. And it's a single click opt-in. So, you're tokenizing the credit card, so you don't have to go through the payment process again. You just add whatever items you want to that order. Shopify combines it all into a single order object, and that then gets fulfilled like normal.
Yep. So to just be clear there, it does append it to the existing order. You're not creating a separate order, right?
Correct. Exactly. Yeah.
And which is awesome. And then obviously we want to focus on the gift card thing. I've got a lot of more specific questions there, but what are some other common things that you see there? I imagine like not only product upsells there, gift card upsells, right? But also probably things like maybe subscription signups. Is that in line, and anything else that you
Yeah.
would add?
Yeah. It's a great opportunity. I mean, there's lots of different tactics and things to offer customers on that post-purchase step. I think the really neat part about the post-purchase offer is you've already secured the order. So these offers don't impact conversion rate. Really, the only thing that you can do is increase your average order value or profitability on this order, which is typically what most merchants want. But yeah, things that work really well are items that were actually in the original order. So let's say you sell protein powder, and I just bought a bag of chocolate protein powder. Offering to add another bag of protein powder at a 20% discount crushes. That works really, really well. The customer likes chocolate protein, they just bought it. So that's a great opportunity. Subscriptions are another option. So selling a subscription to the chocolate protein powder is another great opportunity. Some brands will have membership programs that they can sell as well as in post-purchase. So lots of different opportunities. Other like beauty brands will actually leverage it for product discovery. And so you can offer samples of products, free gifts.
So it'll be like add the eyeliner, the sample eyeliner to the order,
Yep.
not the eyewear eyeliner, but
Yep, exactly. You got it.
Crushed it. That's one of them. Good job.
That's awesome. Okay, great stuff there. Before we move back to the gift card piece specifically, Mariah, any other questions about post-purchase overall?
About overall, no, but about the gift card piece for sure.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
because I know you said that like you typically want like just depending on your AOV, you want to adjust. But do you typically see that the 20% discount is standard depending on that AOV? Or like if it's a certain time of year, like I know today when we're recording, it's Valentine's Day. So like trying to, when customers are maybe expecting, or during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, when they're expecting maybe like a bigger sale, do you see merchants kind of increase that discount? Or is it always just in this specific use case, keeping it the same throughout the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the fun part is you can kind of play with the discounting. Rebuy supports A/B testing, so you can actually run a test and run a 10% discount versus 15% versus 20% and see which converts better. So I think psychologically, the customer is getting money and they're getting money at a discount. And so I don't think you have to do deep discounting. So it's more a psychological thing and getting customers to reinvest, in the brand, and getting them excited about that second purchase. And so, you can play with the numbers and find what works for your brand. But we've seen, even 5% discount is enough. So
Interesting. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, then another question I thought of is you talked about like first purchase to second purchase, second purchase to third. And I'm wondering if along the same lines of testing, are you able to target based on how many times a customer has purchased? So for example, only surface this 20% gift card discount to second time purchasers.
Yeah, definitely. So with Rebuy, you can create segments. We have a rules-based engine that allows you to target first purchasers. So you can segment this to only target first purchasers, or second or third, or you can, step the discount down. First time, maybe they see a 20% discount. Second time, maybe it's 10%. Third time, maybe it's something else.
That's amazing. It's like, I think what Rebuy reminds me a lot of is like, and brings this experience to the web, which I think you talked about a little bit earlier, right? Which is like, how do we bring this experience that we're powering triggered messages from an ESP to the website experience. And what I'm thinking is a lot of the rules engine that you just talked about is similar to how you would do segmentation or personalization in a Klaviyo, for example. And you're just bringing that level of personalization to the site, which is super, super powerful. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, a little bit. I think Klaviyo's power is, yeah, they're very good at segmentation, specifically for marketing messages to ensure, customers are getting the right message. And ultimately, that's kind of what, Rebuy is focused on. We focus on the online store and the merchandising layer. So these are product offers and recommendations and things of that nature. But yeah, that's the goal of Rebuy as a personalization platform, is to offer the right products to the right customers to help increase conversion rate, product discovery, just create intelligent, intuitive, engaging shopping experiences.
Yes. Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't realize that you had that level of like targeting control on the website. So that's super, super awesome. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. The other thing that's interesting to me is I had no idea that Rebuy touched gift cards. So I'm curious, more of a personal question probably, but I'm just curious, like, do you partner with a gift card, is there another third party gift card solution, or is that something that you all power through and through? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so we do not offer gift cards per se. So Rebuy allows you to surface products in your product catalog. And so those products can be digital products or digital gift cards. And so Shopify has gift card support. And so you can create gift cards, different types, different denominations. And you can then surface, one or two or all of those in your Rebuy offers. But there are also a number of third parties that offer like physical gift cards and things of that nature as well.
Yep.
I
Okay.
have a question around gift cards. And
Yeah.
well, just gift discounts in general.
Mhm.
Way back, I can't even remember when it was, Noah, that we had the gift note team on. But
Yeah.
one of the things that they spoke to was trying to delineate between when someone is buying for themselves versus buying for someone else. So is
Mhm.
that something you all have thought about in this specific realm in terms of, I don't know if there's a way to break it down by um like just knowing customer demographics of like who's buying and then what they're purchasing and making assumptions, or um you know broken down by industry or anything like that.
So we have Smart Cart, and Smart Cart supports like gift notes, and we work with a number of third-party apps to bring their technology into the cart. So work with some great brands that do, gift wrapping, gift messages, gifting. Um, I guess at the end of the day, that like flag of, is this a gift? Is this not a gift? Is not something that's incorporated into Rebuy's rule engine today. But that's a really unique scenario that I think you could tap into, segment, and then have really targeted messaging, specifically around like, hey, give yourself a gift.
Yeah.
If that item was a gift.
Treat yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, treat yourself. Exactly.
I love that. And even I'm sure it's very similar use case, but like being able to send the discounted gift card to a friend or like a
Mhm.
family member, like this is your third time purchasing. You obviously love us. Send this, $50 to a friend for $40 or something. That's an interesting use case as well. Then you're capturing an email as a new email as a result, because they'd have to
Yep.
plug it in to send it. So a lot of really unique things you could do there, which is awesome. And this is like exactly why we did it, the episodes this way this season, James, because we wanted these unique sort of use cases that we weren't like the other episodes were great. previous episodes, seasons were fantastic, but we wanted to be a little bit more tactical and have our guests leave, or our listeners leave, with something that they can actually implement after listening. So we love this. Let's just wrap up with a little bit more information about Rebuy in case people are interested in, Rebuy as a whole. So obviously this is just one little thing that Rebuy helps out with, although it can make a big difference for a brand. So is there anything else you want to talk about in terms of, value that merchants are regularly getting out of Rebuy? And then if you could talk us through like what types of merchants are best fit to get the most bang for their buck with Rebuy.
Yeah, great question. And so Rebuy is a personalization platform. Our mission is to create intelligent shopping experiences. And so we work with direct-to-consumer brands running on Shopify. We really work with all sorts of brands. These can be brands that are just getting started, or these can be, pretty significant, extremely large brands, some of the largest brands on Shopify. As long as you sell a product, I think Rebuy can typically help you sell more of your product or products. And so I think most of our customers are typically Shopify Plus brands. We have a very deep team of merchant success managers that work with our larger brands and help them maximize the value of Rebuy, ideate, strategize. So a bunch of e-commerce experts on our team. And end of the day, our goal is to, help merchants run better businesses and do so more profitably, increase their revenue, average order value, conversion rates. So yeah, a lot of different ways to merchandise your site. I like to liken what we do is very similar to walking into a retail store like Target. And so as you're walking down the aisles are very curated, and that's what Rebuy helps you do. So you can put items on your end cap, you can promote certain items. And then Smart Cart and these dynamic recommendations are kind of like a magical aisle. You can be shopping, walking down the cereal aisle. You can grab a box of cereal, put it in your cart, and when you look up, the store shelves have rearranged, and all of a sudden the milk is right there on the shelf, and you're like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to grab. And you grab that, put that in your cart, and you look up, there's a new bowl set with some matching spoons, and next thing you know, you've spent a lot more than you probably should have, but you are quite the happy customer with the whole cereal setup. So we help brands, drive a lot more revenue through product recommendations, cross-selling, upselling. And we are releasing Rebuy Smart Search in about a month. So really excited about that. So we'll help merchants drive more revenue through search and merchandise their search as well.
Amazing. Yes.
I love that analogy of the grocery store one. Yeah. It's a great one. And if it's by end of the month, then by the time this episode comes out, it will be, it'll be out, that search.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Really quick, just on Rebuy and Malomo and why so many merchants have adopted it. I'll kind of give a high level overview, and then James, fill in any gaps if you want to add. But so typically, obviously, very similar to what James just walked through, our post-purchase experience, which is the order tracking experience, is a great way to not only provide a branded experience throughout tracking, but actually drive LTV as a result. So a lot of merchants, especially when we started, would add a generic product feed, and some still do, add a generic product feed to their tracking page. So you go to track your order, they might pull in a featured collection, or some brands who are a little bit more sophisticated might segment men and women. And for men tracking their package, they might drop in their top men sellers, for women, top women sellers. Our most sophisticated and most successful brands at driving repeat purchases are dropping a Rebuy widget on their tracking page. And what that's doing or enabling is every time a person tracks their package, that individual is getting personalized product recommendations served to them based on the product or products that they have on the way. So you can just imagine that level of targeting and how influential it is to driving repeat purchases on the tracking experience as a result of the Malomo and Rebuy integration. So that's what our most successful merchants are doing. That's why our partnership is so strong. Our integration is so powerful. James, anything you would add to that?
Yeah, no, that was a perfect recap, and I think, peanut butter and jelly, Malomo and Rebuy, we go together really well. Like you said, you guys help have branded post-purchase experiences, and Rebuy can help offer the right products and the right discounting and the right offers to customers through language or products or discounting, a lot of different ways to incentivize your customers to come back, learn about new products, and continue the journey with that brand.
Peanut butter and jelly. Love it.
I should just make that the episode title. No context.
James, thank you so much, man. Know your time is super valuable. This is very valuable to our guests. So good use of time, I hope. And really appreciate you being here and spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, well, thank you guys, Noah and Mariah. It was really great to chat with you guys. So thank you for having me on. This has been a lot of fun. And I hope our merchants can learn something.
Glad to hear it. Thanks, James.